everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Zenji, and today we're going to be playing Manor Lords. So this is a new playthrough where we're going to be the ruthless Sir Pounce. And hey, we're going to be selecting this portrait and renaming ourselves, of course. Oh wait, we should probably do it this way, right? Sir Pounce. That's going to be our shield. Very cool. And we're going to select the Germanic Valley. Alright, these are some presets. And we'll go radio, we'll put that at 3. And we'll go with double starting supplies. Just because we want a fun playthrough, but sort of not so stressful. I think that's presets, so you can go relaxing, challenging. We'll go with a relaxing one, which is double. And, or actually wait, let's go default. We'll go radius 3, and then we'll just double some resources. We'll keep everything else quite balanced. We don't want it to be too easy. Where is this? Starting supplies. Cool, and we're going to begin. Alrighty, let's get started. Oh, we start next to a little fishing pond. That's cool. We're going to zoom out. Ooh, a very wild, rich animal zone. And we're in the center left side of the map. Enemy around us though. And looking over here, a few deposits. So food should not be an issue. We should have enough to obviously get started. Let's take a look at fertilities, if I can remember correctly. I think it's farming. I think you just click the field, yeah, so you actually see how good the fields are. Clearly the AI has a very good position here. This is amazing. So we'll push towards this for farming. Of course, we are going to rename our settlement to, if you're familiar with our Going Medieval series. Okay, and we have a new message. So victory conditions, dominance. Build up your town, your manor, and when ready, press claims towards regions owned by your opponents. Once a claim has been pressed, be ready for battle. Alrighty, so as you can see, it's our speed dials. So we can go 4x or 12x. It's been a minute since I've actually taken a look at this game, but we are going to build a logging camp over there, and woodcutters lodge right next to that, and then a saw pit can be right opposite there. We'll build that, and then build a fishing hut. A bit further than I would like, but unfortunately I don't think I can build any closer. Alright, those are some of the basics. Of course, we are going to be doing another bit of a road here. Road system's a little tricky. Okay, well, that's all getting done. What we do want to do is have a storage house and a grain house. So I actually have a design I want to try, but it's a little sparse in here, so I might have to find a better location. We might end up actually moving our big city on the one side. So this could just be our starting zone, so not too stressful of how it looks. Of course, it will take some time. Alright, so that is our storehouse. And we need a granary that will most likely go next to it. And we will connect these with some roads. Alright. As you can see, our workers are doing their jobs. Alright, so we have 5 families who are currently building. We do obviously want to have a little marketplace. This is quite important for the game's progression. So we'll put that over there. And then pack station, we don't need that. And a well. It's quite a nice little spot here. Alright, so we have a message from Hildebolt. I've heard of your renown. I only seek to defend my rights and my honor against those who would wrong me. I hope you will not judge me by the rumors and slanders of some may spread about me. Okay, well, we'll see. Not frustrating at all. Well, we got 2 big homes there. We'll just do that. It's not playing ball with us. Alright, we're going to speed time up, just because it does take a while for things to get going. Okay, Woodcutter's Lodge is now complete. So we're going to add 1 family there. That's still being built. Woodcutter's Lodge, we don't necessarily need that right now. So as you can see, we have a little bit of firewood in place, and we're currently in March, so this is our relatively chilled season. Alright. Okay, full time lapse there. So, first burgage plots are down. Of course, we can add backyard extensions, food, and all that. It does cost us gold. So we have 100 to play with, so I'm going to wait a little bit. Just because I don't want to just spend it before I have enough for other little things. Alright, so we're gonna some more burgage plots. Oh, nice. One giant house. Usually this is very simplistic. I'm not too sure why. Is it just because I don't have enough goods? Can't be. I have 8 or 11 there. And then minus. Not enough goods. Alright. So it is a block on building or goods. So of course that means we need timber. What we can do then is up this to 3, and hopefully that does speed things up. But hey, in our region here we have wild animals, a little bit of iron and a little bit of clay. All the way down here is the stone deposit, which we do need eventually. And of course I will be focusing on primarily going up this side if I can, and see if we can capture those areas. I do need to hire an army, I believe, so yeah, we'll get into that. Okay, so farmhouse, fields, pastures, sheep farms, windmill, and communal oven. That all comes later. Then we have all the malt houses, smithy, bloomery, all that. Of course, we'll have a trading post, which is probably quite important actually. This costs us 4 lumber. And this is the King's Road, so perhaps somewhere around here would be good. Of course, we don't have enough goods for that. And there's the livestock trading post, and of course, a settlers camp, which does cost us 250 gold. Place it on empty claimed territory in order to settle it. Grants base stats, starting supplies and starting families. Grants base starting supplies and 5-star. Okay, so we need extra supplies and families for that. Cosmetic. I've actually tried the cosmetic tool, but let's see, what does it do? We can just clear out some shrubbery. That's cool. Shrines. Maybe on like crossroads, this will be quite cool. Oh, it's literally a construction thing. That's cool. Looking at our armies, obviously we cannot hire anyone just yet. Alright, so we have water access. Now the next step is to get the church up and running. So church is it'll be residential. Doesn't make much sense to me. Okay, that's going to be another burgage plot area. So church will most likely be around here somewhere. We'll have to make space eventually for that.
Splendid work on the roof, good sirs.
I concur. Alright, we should have enough wood.
Don't forget to check the level of the foundation.
That. So we actually have to show the current storage. Alright, what we're going to do is just fast forward, and hopefully this will become, I don't know, 8. When we get 8 to 10 timber, we'll just increase this. So we'll do that. I want to do one more at least. And there we go. Alright, so that is 5 new burgage plots. We will take a couple workers off the logging camps, put one in the granary, one family in the granary, and one in the storehouse. So we can start moving our supplies indoors. And we have our first food stall popping up. That is obviously because of equipping a family in the granary. And we have one more family that has joined us. Of course, we are going to slow time down a little bit. We don't want to rush through the progress we're making. But food security is very important. So, of course, we currently have...
No, it should absolutely be placed over there.
Burgage plots. Scion families. Okay, so we only have 5 families at the moment.
Hey, you!
But we have space for more. We just need to get the approval rating up. Alright, so of course that will require some planks. Okay, lots to do. Timber storage, generic storage. I think the saw pit is what I'm referring to. I guess back to fast forwarding. So of course 2 families are still homeless. One family is. Then we have exposed goods, which we are trying to deposit into our homes. Well, our granary. Alrighty, another burgage plot is about to be finished. Of course, settlement has increased. Okay, so we have some shields, I think. If I see that correctly. We have a new message. So, armament delivery. A strong militia is paramount to survival of any settlement. Luckily, a shipment of weapons has arrived, and you will now be able to create your first militia banners to serve you and protect your people. However, you'll need more weapons to equip all the people as the settlement grows, either by making them or importing them from other lands. Okay, so we're going to form our first militia. We're going to go to the army tab, select here, and we'll go with pikemen, I believe. Spear militia, actually. So spears and shields. And then, yeah, I guess that's our militia. I guess we could rally, but we're going to try to save our goals so we can do a bit of expanding at a later stage. But there's lots to do. We have one unassigned family, which is obviously focusing on building. So they're builders at the moment. Of course, we need the approval rating to go up before we can actually build anything. Get more families, I mean. And for that, we need a church. And we need planks for that. So technically, we do have enough burgage plots for more families to join us, but I do want to finish these last two, and then we can take the family that's on construction and put them onto another task, which will obviously be saw pit. We need planks.
Bread, freshly baked and still warm from the oven.
Okay, well, that's good. Righty, that's our last burgage plot, so now we're going to put another person into the sawmill. And seems like we've almost removed everything. We have a hitching post here. Let's try and relocate this actually to there. Just need an assigned family to do something about that. But we are at 49% on approval, so 1 more percent, and we should have some more families joining us. Of course, these are your overlays, so we can actually see underground water, emmer fertility, flax fertility, which there is none. Barley, none. There's some rye. Smell, I don't know what that is, and fire hazard. I see a work in progress mechanic. Okay, so obviously lots going on. We're just waiting for our approval rating to hit 50%, and then from that point we should be able to put the planks. Yeah, so we can now build this church. I think right over here will be nice. Of course, we'll need a family to build that, so we'll take one off the saw pit.
Step right up and sample.
And then next to the saw pit, not the saw pit, the church, we will have a small tavern. Who doesn't love a tavern? So this is our little settlement at the moment, nothing too special. Oh, and it's still some resources from us. Or from someone, not from us. Alright, so food is going to be an issue. So we're going to need to put someone on food gathering very shortly, as soon as this church is done. But hey, let's watch this church being constructed. Alrighty, and there we go. Church is built. So approval rating should go through the roof now. And what we're missing is food gathering, so we're going to put someone on fishing for us. And because we have... Okay, so you select buildings, you'll actually see we have a lot of planks. So let's take someone out of the saw pit.
Keep your hearth warm and your home cozy.
We're going to slow time down just so we don't bypass all the hard work that's needed. Okay, so there's berry gathering and foraging. Probably should have done this a bit earlier. Okay, there's actually no berries in our lands, but there is wild animals, so we will be doing some hunting. Of course, we will build a road for convenience. And once that's built, we should put a family in there. But hey, look at that. Approval rating has hit 51%. Not too bad. Okay, so the next step would be, okay, we can do some mining over here. Okay, so we actually have to build on this. Connect a road. Probably a better idea to have a straighter road. Okay, that's the mining. Okay, we have our well. Corpse pit. Not right now. Now we do have an iron deposit over here. But I'm going to focus on the trading post. I want to put this most likely over here. Somewhere close. I think it has to be on the King's Road, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it. We can do a livestock trading post right next to it, although we don't have enough goods. Alright, so we should start to see some new families move in. See the church level and market variety for food is helping our cause here. We have 2 available living spaces. Hey, and the tavern is finished. Of course, when we have more families available, we will add those in. Let's take a look at our farming. We want to see what actually works here. So it seems like it's just rye in this whole region. Barley is terrible, so we'll have to take over this section for that. Honestly, it's kind of tough because we need to take over this area, and to do that, of course, we need a settling camp, which costs us a lot. Okay, so we bought a horse on the trading post. Now we can start to trade some goods. So of course we have a lot of planks, and we're going to allow foreign trade. It does cost us a little bit to establish a trading route, but we'll do that. And we're going to select export, and then I believe desired surplus, we will change that to, yeah, select that, we'll go off. Try get some gold while we can. Alright, food variety. It seems like there's just fish and a bit of leftover bread from starting resources. As you can see, we're starting to clear out this forest, which is what we want to do. And then I think what we'll do is put a family in the Woodcutter's Lodge just to increase our firewood. Yeah. Unassigned families. I see. So you need families for construction. Alright, so we should start to see some people joining. I'm not too sure why it's taking so long. So we can't complain, I guess. And just watch this amount. So that is 58 coins. We're going to see how long it takes for us to get up to at least 250. And the next step will be for clothing store supply. And that's going to be very good for our tier 2 burgage plots. But we can also expand the living spaces, but we don't have any builders right now, so we're not going to click on that just yet. Now it's important to make sure you have extra families to build things. Oh, the banner camp was sighted. Where is that? Other side of the world. I think you get renowned, if that's the word, for taking out those bandits. Ooh, and we have a family who's joined us, finally. What shall we do? Well, I would like them to build, to start hunting meat. Just because a food variety is very, very important. Require settlement, small village. So that requires a clothing store supply, which means we need a tannery. Worker weaves wool into yarn and weave flax into linen. It has to be one of these, if I'm not mistaken. Tannery. Tanneries are quite smelly apparently, so I'll put this all the way over here. I guess we can just fast forward and wait for another family to join us. And then they'll begin the building expansions. But hey, currently sitting at 55% approval. So apparently the mechanic is that the people remember previous months, good and bad. So remembering some homelessness from previous months sort of sticks with them, which is quite interesting. So I kind of like that mechanic. It's like you don't just click a button and everyone's all happy. So adds a bit of realism, I think. Of course, these games, they do take a while to sort of get going, especially in the beginning. It's a little bit slow. That's why there is a 12x. I mean, it just, yeah, it takes a while. Well, there is lots of fish in the shoal. These are expert fishermen. But hey, there we go, a new family has moved in. So we're going to have to do some upgrades here, expand the living spaces. But building wise, we have the tannery that's left to build, these two burgage plots, and then the mining pits. We do have this iron deposit, which we haven't touched just yet. Alright, we have a bigger burgage plot now. Does feel very SimCity-like, very fast-moving people. Maybe a little jarring. Okay, so people are pretty happy. All we need to do is get the clothing store supply up and running, which I believe is on its way. So when this is done, we should have everything we need. Okay, so now we have our tannery. Oops. And hopefully this does give us the clothing store supply, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, it needs to be occupied. So put someone in there. Of course, we have a new family that's just moved in. Fantastic. And we don't have any extra space. So I have to be careful here. Of course, we want to be close to the market, so perhaps building out some new housing on the side wouldn't be a bad idea.
This is heavier than it looks.
That's our current resources, current food, lots of fish, lots of firewood. And what I can do is utilize this area for some more housing. But what I do want to do is just clear all this out. So let's add another road.
Step right up and sample.
Okay, so for that to happen, we're going to shift out our logging camp, and that's going to go over there. Of course, the saw pit will have to also relocate. Trading post can stay, pitching post can stay. Woodcutters lodge could also relocate. And then we can convert this area into some more housing, so you can access the market, etc. Okay, there we go. We now have all our requirements to go to level 2.
Come one, come all. Feast your eyes on our fine selection.
So we'll do 2 houses there. And then as you can see, winter is approaching. So I'm not too sure if this freeze is over, but it would be quite interesting to see if it did. There we go. The fishing is halted. I'm going to slow time down. And yeah, we have almost constructed our 2 level 2 burgage plots. Alrighty, so we're going to be assigning some more families. We have quite a few unassigned families at the moment. That's because we are rebuilding. We've rebuilt it. So now we have 2 free families, which are going to be very helpful in building out some more housing. Alright, so over here, burgage plots. We just need to wait. Oh wait, something's in the way here. That's most likely the reason. Alright, so we're just going to have to wait for these supplies to be picked up. And then once they're all gone, we'll be able to build some more housing. As it stands right now, we do have 2 builders available for the burgage plots, level 2. There we go. Burgage plot level 2. So we do require more clothing and a variety of food. So at least 3 types. And there we go. Settlement level has increased. So new development point. We do that over here, I believe. Right, so there's lots of things we can click on. So this is like the trading route. This is the farming, like tree. And then we have, I think it's wild farming, so trapping, fishing. Well, that's actually pretty good. Pond keeping, and then iron working. I kind of am interested in the advanced pond keeping. So it doubles the maximum capacity of all shoal of fish in the region. Additionally, workers are able to cut holes in the ice of a fishing pond and use baited hooks to catch fish beneath the frozen surface. Allows for all year round fishing. I mean, who doesn't want all year round fishing? So we're going to go with this. And that is the start of perhaps our wild farming side, which can branch into sides quite nicely too. But hey, do we have more than 1 point? Sheep breeding. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go with sheep breeding too. Do you like that? It's good for wool. These are policies, production, trade. We haven't made any money through exports just yet. Most likely because we need to put someone in the actual trading post. There we go. So always put people in the buildings you need them to run. But good news, we can fish now. So I might want to actually see what happens here. How these fishermen dig holes in the ice. It's just it's a mechanic, but nothing actually changes. I'm sure that's a work and development point where they actually have a little I don't know, hole in the ice. That'd be interesting to see. But hey, we've made some money. I believe that's through the trading post. Alright, so currently militia we have 2 spears and 2 large shields. Nothing special. I think you can actually set these to make weapons. So pot level's too low. Let's try over here. Alright, so we can actually set them to make butcher's weapons, bower's tables, what is good for archery. Totem branch missing, basic armory. Enables production of tools. Okay, so that is definitely what we want. And then what else can we pursue? I think we'll have to go shields. So it'll be, spears and shields. Production over there. And then we can start to build our militia. And then obviously from that point, we'll be able to start taking some lands, aka whatever this is called. Shenfurt. So that will be our plan. That will be our farming extension. Of course, we will need to add in a manor over here somewhere with some defenses to protect our people. But hey guys, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for joining in. I really do appreciate it. This is going to be a very chill but interesting series, I believe. We are going to push the boundaries as far as we can, and of course be as creative as we can. Cool. But as always, if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Cheers.